Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. Sitting next to me is Drew Martin, and this is the MLB show that we do every Thursday where we take a look ahead at the upcoming series for the upcoming weekend. Drew Martin, I started out baseball season pretty well. Then I went down. I went negative units, but the past week or so, I'm picking it up, Drew Martin. I'm positive units right now. I'm very proud of that. I'm breathing a sigh of relief, Drew Martin.
Hey, congrats, Pete. I mean, I started off well as just like you, and then I had a O for May, and then I hit one yesterday.
So you know what it's like. I mean, it's just it's like life is just different when you're positive units as opposed to negative units. You know what I mean?
Sleep better.
The
bed is better.
And when you're positive units, like no one can touch you. Someone can like call me an idiot on videos. I'll be like, yeah, I'm up positive 5% ROI. Doesn't matter. But, you know, if I'm negative units, then it's like, you
just got to roll with the punches.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm feeling pretty good about baseball right now. Let's take a look at some of the series that are coming up this weekend. The first one, let's start with it. Let's start with a tough one. I don't know if you have anything to say about this one, but the Dodgers at San Diego. The Dodgers, obviously a great team, but they've been overvalued. San Diego actually has been nicely profitable at home. It's so tempting to always take the Dodgers in a matchup like this, but it just feels like sometimes you win, but long-term you wind up on the wrong side, right?
Absolutely. And you're right. The Dodgers have been overvalued. They can't hit lefties. Keep that in mind.
Right.
And also, we talked about it earlier, Trevor Cahill. I'm looking to back him, especially in Petco Park. He's got it back. He's got that curveball going. He's got that sinker going. So looking to back Cahill in the pods. Now,
Trevor Cahill starting on Sunday against Clayton Kershaw. So it's like, you know you're going to see like some kind of like big line, and you're just going to want to pull the trigger on the Dodgers with Kershaw. But it's just – and then like when Cahill starts matching him inning for inning, you're like, where the hell did that come from? It's going to be tough. It depends on how big the line is, right?
And what about that total? I don't know. It's going to be 6 flat.
No, it'd probably be 6.5. Yeah, I don't know. I think because when Kershaw was up against Cueto, it was 6 flat. So I'm assuming they'll give Cueto a little bit more credit than they'll give to Cahill. But I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. I just mentioned that one because it's a tough one. Sometimes I like to start off with the 10-foot pole series, and then let's see. Well, tell me about a series that's caught your eye from this upcoming weekend?
Well, let's go with the big one, the Yankees and Cubs.
Another tough one.
Obviously, it's a Friday game in Chicago, so it's a day game.
Yeah.
They can't play night games. And we got New York Yankees, top hitting team in MLB the last 7 days. And it also, I know this is just for the weekend series, but they do play that Sunday night game, so it sets up for a fade the Sunday night team and the New York Yankees having to travel to Cincinnati to face the Reds, who will be waiting for them. So on that Monday might be a fade the New York Yankees spot.
I mean, that's going to be a tough series. The Yankees, as you said, they've been hitting well. They're also top 5 in baseball in the money standings, and the Cubs have a double-digit negative ROI right now. I mean, they have not. I mean, what do you think? You think they're going to turn it around, or you think they're going to be overvalued at least in the near future?
It's kind of like that World Series hangover, and you got to think Kyle Schwarber. He's going to start heating up. I'm sure they're going to start coming around, but they're priced like they're going to be coming around.
Yeah, exactly.
So as far as making money on them, I don't know. I'm not stepping in front of them. You don't want to catch a falling knife type deal.
Yeah, very tough one. All right, now let's see what else is interesting. Oh, this is a tough one. The top 2 teams in baseball in terms of the ROI standings, the White Sox and Baltimore are facing off. White Sox number 1, Baltimore number 2. Of course, the White Sox have that awesome bullpen, and Baltimore. There was some mixed sort of feelings about Baltimore to start the year. Some people were saying they still didn't have the table setters so that they'd hit a lot of home runs but not be productive. But look what's happened. Do you think they're going to be profitable going forward? Or?
Yeah, I mean, both teams are actually bet on for me. I love bullpens. The White Sox, I haven't checked today's standings.
Unreal bullpen,
yeah, it's ridiculous. They're the only team in baseball with under a 1 whip. So from the pin. It'd be White Sox or pass. And since they're going against the Orioles, I'm probably not going to be involved a lot in this series.
It is a tough one. That's what happens a lot when you have like 2 teams that you really want to bet against, and then they're playing each other. It sometimes becomes a pass series. And this is kind of the same way with the White Sox and Baltimore. Although, if you look at the pitching matchups, the White Sox crush lefties, right? And they're a lot worse against righties. Miley is starting for Baltimore on Friday. He's a lefty, and he's been having some serious control issues recently. Now, he's obviously got some talent, so he might turn it around out of nowhere. But that's looking kind of promising to take the White Sox. And then on Saturday, it's Dylan Covey against Dylan Bundy. And Dylan Covey, as we know, looking like not ready for prime time at all right now. And Dylan Bundy's been great. So maybe that'll be a spot to take Baltimore on Saturday. What do you think about that Drew Martin.
Yeah, no, Pete, I like that breakdown. And Miley's definitely not a bet-on guy for me. I'm interested to see who he's paired up with. I didn't catch that.
For the White Sox.
Right.
Let me see. It's on Friday. He is starting for the White Sox is Miguel Gonzalez, who's, mediocre.
He's been surprising, though, this year, his numbers anyway.
He's gotten good results. I feel like he's not, when I say he's mediocre, like if he, I would be excited if he was like a Jared Weaver and you'd want to fade him. He's a guy who like is just serviceable. Like if I want to bet on the team he's pitching for, I'm fine with that. If I want to bet against team he's pitching for, I'm fine with that as well.
I like that. And a lot of people, I guess the Fangraphs guys, which I might consider at least want to be one of those guys.
Yeah, me too. Hey, join the club.
He's set up for regression a little bit as far as
Gonzalez. Yes, for sure. So, but still, I would be thinking about taking Chicago there. All right, what else has caught your eye from the upcoming weekend series?
Let me see. Another one, we got St. Louis at Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Two of the hottest hitting teams in all of MLB. I believe number 6 versus number 7. St. Louis posting a 136 weighted runs created number, in Atlanta 127 the last 7 days. SunTrust Park has played smaller.
Yeah.
And that makes me look towards the overs.
You think so,
St. Louis, Atlanta. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if I trust St. Again, we don't know what the totals will be. Difference between, as we know, 8, 8.5, and 9 is huge. But, I was vaguely looking at SunTrust Park as being a hitter-friendly park and an over-friendly park, at least, for the first few months of the season and then into the summer. St. Louis, not really a team that I want to bet on overs with, especially like the Friday matchup, Lance Lynn and Fulton-Avich, both those guys.
Yeah, Fulty. Yeah. He's bet on for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, he's got some great stuff. He's got like 5 pitches. If he can, master them all, he's, and it looks like he's, 3/4 of the way there. And then let's see on Saturday, Leak and Tehran. I mean, maybe we'll expect some regression from Leak, but he's been great.
Yeah.
Tehran
that's
is
another
Tehran.
tough matchup. Leak, the former Sun Devil, and Tehran with that fastball changeup. So, look, I like the overs. You got to spot it. Maybe that Sunday day game. Who do we got going on Sunday?
Against R.A. Dickey, and R.A. Dickey is, knuckleballer who usually doesn't get crushed. I mean, he's sort of, he's probably good for 6 innings, 3 runs, and then Michael Wacha.
I don't know. Michael Wacha, I think.
Regression, you think?
Yeah. And what are his numbers? I mean, he's not been killing it this year, has he?
He's pitched generally very well. I can pull up his numbers if you want. He's getting good strikeouts. I mean, he hasn't been lights out, but his ERA and his FIP are down. His strikeouts are relatively up. I mean, last year there were, remember when he first came out, he was like this phenom. People were like, how good is this guy going to be? Then he struggled a little bit and he started to actually get hit a lot. And he's definitely having an up year this year for sure.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know a lot of people are on him. I remember breaking down. I should have brought my computer out, but I had some numbers on him that had me thinking to go against him.
Maybe to fade, yeah. All right, well, we will see. All right, then there's some other interesting pitching matters. One that I do want to highlight, though, is I said from the beginning of the season that Paxton for Seattle was a play on or pass for me, basically in all situations, and he's going to be at home going up against Cashner. And Andrew Cashner has had some serious control issues this year, just a shaky starter. Paxton against Cashner. Now, Seattle will be a big favorite. The first half line's probably going to be, 170, 190, whatever, but I'm going to be probably leaning Seattle there, even as a decent-sized favorite. What do you think? And Texas has been terrible against lefties, one of the worst hitting teams against lefties so far this year.
The Rangers?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're facing Paxton, and they got Cashner
in Seattle.
Okay. And they got Cashner starting.
I'm not talking you off that.
Yeah, because I know, a lot of the baseball nerds are like, I never take an MLB, favorite over minus 140 or one. Everyone has their limit, you know what I mean? But as we know, long term, actually, some of those big favorites can have value. And if you identify your spots where those big favorites are, if you can try to identify where those spots are going to come, this might be one of them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Paxton is a guy, I remember reading an article about how he's prepared for this year and not having arm troubles, not going and pretty much working out to make it through the whole season.
Sure.
So as far as regression towards him, I'm not as worried as in past years.
All right, let me ask you one guy. The answer to this has to be yes, but Irvin Santana, regression?
Oh, absolutely. What's his left on base rate? His strand rate is over 98%. That's impossible to keep up.
He's going to be at home against Chris Sale.
I love Chris Sale.
Yeah.
I really do. And I especially love him outside of Fenway Park. So I definitely will not be on Santana that game.
All right, sounds good. And then Matt Latos is making his next start at Tampa Bay on Sunday. That's not necessarily going to be an auto fade of Latos there, although in general I am fading him automatically. Chris Tillman makes his first start for Baltimore on Sunday. That might be a rough spot for him. He might get lit up by Chicago in his first start back. What do you think? Tough to say.
Yeah, I don't have much on that one.
All right. What else do you want to bring to our attention before we wrap this show up?
All right, I got Friday, fade Oakland. I know they're putting up some points today, but coming into this show, preparing for this, it's their first game back at home off of a road trip, which we know is kind of a sharp play, fade against. They're traveling from Minnesota. The game got postponed. They're going from it did not get postponed. I'm sorry. It got delayed. They were facing Kyle Gibson, and now they'll be facing Michael Fulmer. So going from two different styles of pitchers. I'm looking to fade Oakland on Friday night.
Okay, yeah, this might be a good spot to take Fulmer because he faced a lot of tough assignments in the American League. Going into Oakland is one of the easiest assignments that he can have. So a lot of times when strong pitchers, get a big break like that, they come in and have, a lights-out performance. All right, Drew Martin, I think we've broken it down for the upcoming weekend series and some pitching matchups of note. Hopefully I can maintain my profitability. Of course, my official plays go every morning at 10:30 Eastern time in the live show that we do. Hopefully I'll have more profitable plays tomorrow morning, Friday, 10:30 Eastern. Lord willing, Drew Martin.
All right, but thanks for tuning in.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.